Praise be Jesus and Mary. I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. The scribes and Pharisees, as you know, were zealous observers of the law of Moses. They're known for their strictness and rigidity in following the many and minute ceremonial and dietary restrictions. But all the while they neglected to observe the more important laws, beginning with the Ten Commandments, which are summarized in the two commandments, the love of God and love of neighbor. They had failed to observe those basic commandments. The righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees was merely external, so they appeared to be righteous and holy on the outside. They put on a good show, as it were. They were very good actors, giving any Hollywood actor a run for their money. And they convinced others that they were supposedly righteous and holy. Our righteousness must be genuine, Jesus tells us. It must be more than external, a mere appearance of piety. It has to be internal, of course, and flow from the heart. In fact, the heart is the heart of the whole Christian life. The heart meaning love or charity, which is the greatest of the Christian virtues, and which is, the essence of the very life of God. God is charity in himself. If our hearts are filled with the love of God and love of neighbor, then good deeds and works of piety and devotion will flow automatically, as it were, necessarily, like cause and effect. As Jesus teaches, the good person out of the good treasure of the heart produces good, and the evil person out of evil treasure produces evil. It was in this sense that St. Augustine famously said, "Love God and do what you will." So if you love God really and truly, the love of God fills your heart, then do whatever you wish, do whatever you will. It will always be an expression and overflow of that love for God. Now, one of the most efficacious means of growing in love or charity, which again is the essence of the whole spiritual life, is the devotion to the most Sacred Heart of Jesus. Now, we're going to be celebrating the solemnity of the most Sacred Heart of Jesus in a couple of weeks or so. And because that solemnity falls in the month of June, the whole month is dedicated to the most Sacred Heart of Jesus. That should make us think, when the Church dedicates a whole month to any particular truth, mystery, devotion, we ought to be on board, as it were, and take to heart what the Church is trying to communicate to us. It is the devotion to the Sacred Heart of Jesus is not just another devotion, it is an essential devotion for all Christians. As Pope Leo XIII explains, there is in the Sacred Heart the symbol and express image of the infinite love of Jesus Christ, which moves us to love in return. Indeed, just as St. Paul put it, the love of Christ urges us, moves us to love him in return. So the love of the heart of Jesus moves us ever forward and upward in our following of Christ along the path of holiness. And Jesus once spoke to St. Gertrude, "Let the soul who is desirous of advancing in perfection hasten to my Sacred Heart." So this devotion can help us avoid the superficiality typical of the scribes and Pharisees, to go beyond merely appearing to be righteous and holy and to actually be so, in fact. Devotion to the Sacred Heart will help us fulfill the whole goal of the spiritual life, and that we could summarize in those words of our Lord himself in Proverbs 23, which I always love to repeat, and with which we'll conclude. Son, your daughter, give me your heart. Praise be Jesus and Mary.